Hello, and welcome to Wild Plays More Games of the Steam List. Today we got a different audio. How's that sound for a different audio, huh? Been testing out a few of the audio sources and just to try to get a different feel for it. This one's a bit of a recording voice. Let me know how it feels. We'll be testing it out for today's stream as we continue the good old case of the Golden Idol. The case of the Golden Idol, what is it? Well, if you didn't check our previous stream, or a previous VOD, you're SOL. But it's basically an adventure solving detective mizzle. I mean, I guess it's adventure because basically you point and click. You don't really travel around. You get a vignette, 2 vignettes sometimes, depending on where you look, and then you just try to solve the case. Last stream it also ended abruptly because weirdly enough it kind of shut down the stream at the end, and I'm not sure why. But you didn't miss much. And I'll go back to it. We'll go back to it. So basically at the end, we were trying to think what was the solution for the final part of the puzzle. And this is what it is. What I got wrong, or I wasn't sure about, is specifically that it was Gideon, Bell, and Ergen Petu that they had stolen the seal and not the club. And it was in the salon. In the salon, also something else happened. Basically, where the murder had happened, and then the planted of the button. All of this basically got skipped at the end of last time because it just kind of disappeared. And also, yeah, that's basically it. This guy is dead. He's so dead up there. He's so dead. Also, congrats on your next egg there, DF. 31 eggs. Are you trying to hoard them? Are they all for you? Are you going to share them? Share them with the class? Nah, they're all for you. You can have all the eggs. They are excellent. How are you doing, Def? Hope you're doing well. How's my audio? I'm making some audio changes. I got some different types of audio. Making a big omelet. What would you even use 31 eggs for? Like, I don't even... A carton of eggs is 12 eggs. 12 to 16 eggs, depending on where you're getting, I guess. But, like, what are you going to do with 31 eggs? Big omelet? I think you're just gonna be sick of the eggs after a while. You're gonna have an egg smoothie every day. You just have an egg, a raw egg. Actually, wait a second. There's a song. Yeah, it's a Disney song. Yeah. Something of like size as large as a barge and eats 12 dozen eggs. And that means like they eat 144 eggs? And I'm like, what? What do you mean you eat 12 dozen eggs? Gaston, that was. I couldn't think of the name. Gaston eats 12 dozen eggs. And I was like, what the? How do you eat that and still be alive? Every day! But yeah, lots of omelets. Yeah, so Def, if you don't know about this game, it's a detective game. You kind of try to resolve the vignettes to the best of your abilities. We're almost finished. We only got 3 more, but they do get progressively more challenging. And it always seems to be about a death. I'm okay as I woke up from some sleepies. Well, congratulations on being awake. Wakey world. Welcome to the wake world, though the sleep world is also pretty nice. Try to eat some now. Eat some eggs? Don't eat the eggs. You just got them. But do get some nutrition, though. That's good for you. Audio sounds a little radio-ish, but that's on purpose, I guess. Yes, I am trying different audios. Here. Would you like to be my guinea pig for audio testing? Actually, if anybody is on stream, I would like to do some audio testing. Because basically, I do want to have like the gimmick of a little audio, but I don't want to necessarily just have my regular raw voice out there. I don't want it raw! No raw! I want it slightly modulated or slightly different. I don't know. Just sort of a gimmick, I guess. Because I'm that. I'm a gimmick YouTuber. YouTuber? I'm a gimmick anything. You ready for some voice changes? Here. I'm gonna go through... I did a few of them. And we will go through it. And you tell me which one appeals or completely you hate the most out of anything. So we're gonna go through some voice modulations here. So we'll see. Obviously, I'm gonna go with the original. This is just me, regular. No change in my voice. It's just basically me, a raw wild. This is the recording sound. So hello. I am speaking with you with a little bit of a recording. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. Very good. Yes, perfect. And now we're gonna change a little bit of an audio, and it's going to be
like this. I think this is the one that makes my voice higher. I can't sure. I think it either makes it higher or changes it a little bit. It's just going to modify it a little bit to a way that you can hear me. Deeper? Okay, so it's a deeper. Oh, y'all, wait. If I deepen my voice naturally, and then I make it deeper, it's just going to sound like terrible, or it's going to sound very weird. Hello, it is me. I am wild. I am wild with a deep voice. And now it's me. I'm wild with a high voice. At the same time with the deep pitch. I don't know exactly sure how that's going to sound. Alright, the next one
is slight echo, so you can maybe hear a bit of an echo in the back of my voice. It makes it sound a little like robotic, a little distinct, a little changed. It makes it seem like I'm basically being recorded, or I'm basically just projecting my voice a little bit, and then it's just coming back as a sort of secondary voice in the background. Overall, I just want to point out, with all these voices, I can't hear myself. Like, I don't have it plugged in to hear and listen at the same time, because then I just can't hear anything, because basically whenever you hear yourself, it just echoes, and you just basically brain blast yourself and able to talk. This one is what I've called Robotify. I don't think it's Robotify. It's more like a flangel. It's closer to the original one that I used to use, or like the one that I still have preset. Unfortunately, I actually lost my presets because I had a bug that basically prevented me from launching OBS. So I had to delete all the plugins I had, and some of the stuff I'm still recuperating to this day. But how does this one sound? Does it sound a little more robot-y? It sound a little more fake? Special? I'm not too sure. And then there's the final one, which one is the one that I still require additional work, which I'll put on right now. This one, I think that needs the most work, because I don't think it works. I think it just breaks. There's some words that just basically don't work, some things that don't just work in any way. This one's the one that I need to do more testing to even make it work, but I just thought I'd show it out and present it. The funny thing is, each of these can be layered on top of each other. So if you want to hear nothing of what I say for the rest of the stream, here, I'm going to put all of them at once. And this is going to go real nuts. You ready?
This is all 5 of those effects combined at the same time. You probably can't hear me at all, or it just sounds so weird that I can't hear. Like, because I can't hear what I'm being said right now. I don't know how it even comes to be. But anyway.
Wild the alien. Anyway, so this is the recording back again. Any preference to anybody in chat? DF? Obviously the deep voice is the sort of easiest one to just accept, because it's like I just lower my voice, but it's the fakest, in my opinion. It's not me. It's a deeper me. It's a suave version of wild. But the recording one is the easiest one to fix. Stick with radio for now. Alright. Yeah, I think it's the one that affects the least. I mean, it does. Like, I don't know. Because this is something I don't know from a sort of test audience perspective. I don't know. When it comes to audio like this, I don't know if this audio is just a detractor, a positive, or just as something that be like, I don't like it. And I try to want to have a stick, or like a gimmick. Stick? I don't have a stick. I want to have a little gimmick when it comes to my voice, but because I am kind of digital. But I can't really get the digital auto-tune effect working with the current plugins that I have, so I'm working with the best I have. This one kinda is the closest thing to being like an old staticky thing. Like like you're listening to me in an old recording. Anyway, let's go back to playing the game. Alright. So when we were playing here, we had the last 3 of the stages. We can see this. So far as I understand the story, is that this guy over here is the last possessor of the golden idol, and the golden idol can cast magical spells to some degree. And here's him showing it to the other two who were cultists. But the thing is, the reason why he didn't show this to anybody is because he was the griffin. Because obviously this cult over here existed like last... the last 4 chapters were about the cult. This one was not about the cult, but more about the politician, I guess. Alright, the new order. The triumph order. Press anywhere to continue. Okay, somebody is dead. This man is not breathing. No apparent wounds. Was he aged? Prince of Dusk, like night I am dark and full of terror. I do not fear love, do not make that error. When you know my name, just look for my face. Okay. I see, there's the 2 guys still here. We know those guys. That is music to my ears, Alistair. And in this game you gotta pull the words to kind of make clues out of them. But do control your emotions. We are, as arbiters of order, must never violate the first virtue. Citizen Dr. James Turner, birth year 1747, arbiter of the Order Party. History of infraction unobedience, drank a full bottle of brandy at a picnic. -2. Kept the book Legacy of the Rose Dynasty in his study. Okay. Loyal service to the Order Party in high-ranking position, plus 20 merit. So wait, you can actually lose merit even if you are part of the high ranking? That's kind of weird. Bunch of Albion Frank notes. Dear Dr. Turner, I must regretfully inform you that during your absence from the party business, your senior assistant Daniel has experienced extreme untidiness and thus has breached one of the virtues. Your near assistant Toby. Oh my god, are we reaching fascism here? This is a fascist game now. Okay, we got some names. What is this? What is this? Okay, Mr. Farger Quinn. Charges. Claim he had no wife. He has a painting depicting of a naked person in his house. Broke his wife's favorite teapot in anger. Was obsessed spending a night with neighbor's wife. So weirdly enough, they've become a very controlling party in this British Parliament, I guess. Culprit Walter Keane. Oh, Walter, what happened? Flirted 3 times with different married women during the party convention. Wore ridiculous headgear at 5 public events. His hats aren't ridiculous, they're just regular hats. Claimed he had not betrayed High Arbiter Lazarus during his ritual of ascendance. Expelled from the Party of Order. Ooh. He's no longer with us. Lothar Richards. We saw him last time also. Held a dinner party over a few years ago where he offered large amounts of wine to his guests. He can't be charged for things in the past, that is not possible. Specifically about wine. Got angry during the questioning and shouted at the High Arbiter. Revealed the whereabouts of his hidden fugitive descendant, daughter Mary, and her husband Peter, valued at a plus 15 merit. Okay. Jin. So these are blackmail, maybe? What exactly are these supposed to mean, though? Jin. Josh Bailey. Left birth year 1755. Left his work at the tannery early. Drank excessive amounts of gin at the Scrawny Cat. Drank excessive amounts of rum at the Old Oak. Approached a married woman with an indecent offer. Denied 4 times during questioning that he had done these acts. I don't know how that's a detraction to lie, but okay. Count Horace Webb. Has not held down a job since the new regime, valued at 60 instances of not work. Oh my god, that's a lot. Well, I mean, is that considered 6? Like, oh wait, that's only like 2 days. Thanks for the rage lurk. Thanks for the rage lurk. Thanks for the lurk, rage. Have a good day. Claims he works in his castle, helping his servants clean it. Says his 15 books kept in his private library. Expressed willingness to donate his castle to the party, valued at 200 merit. That's a way to get out of the bad, huh? Wait, Gideon. That's the young man earlier. Yeah, we remember you. Duke Gideon Bell wears an outrageous hairstyle. Broke down in tears 10 times during questioning. That's a negative? He He has refused to start working, evaluated as 5 instances of job skipping, rejected the High Arbiter's request that he share information of a secret entrance to the castle of his cousin the Sovereign. Man, this is real bad. Okay, so there's Lazarus. What are you insinuating, James? I would never breach the 4th virtue. You know damn well I keep no secrets. Bunch of Albion Frank notes. Dear Arbiter Koch? I don't know. I don't exactly know how to pronounce this. I am writing to inform you that their regiment's colonel was seen with another officer's wife in a potential intimate situation. I implore that you send your agents to investigate this potential flouting of the 1st virtue. He only has a merit of plus 11. Citizen of Lord Alistair Arbiter of the party. History of infraction of obedience. Slapped the sergeant in anger. Listened to marching music in his manner. Loyal service to the order party. High ranking. Being part of the high ranking gives you some order, I guess. This is the doctor, isn't it? Or no, this is the lawyer. This is David Gott. Poor bugger, I've never seen so much merit removed in the tribunal. Some mistakes are very costly. David Gorin. He's only got 8, but he's not that far away from the others. History of infraction of obedience. Has a secret compartment in his office locker. Denied the existence of a secret compartment. Low service and low ranking position to the order party. We don't know who he is. His outfit isn't very revealing either. Remember the 3rd virtue. I don't know what it is. Remember the 2nd virtue. So the 2nd virtue is something about work, right? 6 culprits are brought to tribunal. The tribunal is open. Each culprit charges are evaluated. Merit charges are calculated. First culprit merit exaction starts. So it takes about 10 minutes and then 15 minutes? It is a thing of beauty to see the order prevail. If it were not against the 1st virtue, I would feel very happy. If it were not against the 1st virtue, I would feel very happy. I guess we have to figure out what the virtues are. Nicholas, I'll wager you feel the new regime towards through your vigilance now, so tell me why I saw you spend more than 3 shillings on new clothes after I asked you to lend me money and you said you had none to spare. Suggest you lend me some now, unless you want to write an official report about the 4th virtue breach, your beloved brother. Is the 4th virtue about sharing, I guess? He's only at 4, he's not doing so hot. Nicholas Marker, and he's labeled a protocol as being on Thursday, even though it was Wednesday. Took a double-length lunch break on the office. Oh my god, that's enough? Apparently this is worth 6 points. Loyal service and low ranking position, total merit 4. Okay, so maybe each of the rankings have a different value cost, maybe? I felt it in my bones that I should have drunk less. Now we poor souls experiences Goth's wraths. The tribunal's a farce. This guy's saying the truth. They spread lies that my pure love is merely lust. What do they know about true art? Such a relief that they decided not to push any fashion charges. I hope the process is not painful. Oh, is this? Oh, this could have been Keane, right? This could have been Walter Keane. Silence. You will perform your function as much as it is required. It is paramount to ensure order in our new society. So the idol is in... I think it's a sort of the produce matter, maybe? Remember the 2nd virtue. Store confiscated objects and evidence according to the virtue breached. Blue has been added to thinking panel. Love... I don't know. Oh, this is Little Pip, isn't it? There are worse jobs than this one. And thank God tobacco is not considered an indulgence. A bit boring, though. Too bad literature is forbidden. There's something there. I'm honored to help with the party with the upkeep of the 4 virtues. I only hope sitting here all day does not count as sloth, which is one of the virtues, or the lack of virtue, I guess. In truth, Lord High Arbiter, I would prefer storing no more than this. London Gazetteer since 1970. It's been 3 years. Then 1792, when a gay majority of parliament and liberated our government from multi-party chaos, the Order Party has worked hard to improve society. And that's a goddamn lie. Despite the vast popular support for the party, His Majesty refuses to acknowledge the authority of the party's tribunal. High Arbiter Lazarus Hearst has announced that in 2 months, the party and its supporters will participate in a peaceful march to the King's residence to demonstrate their virtue of moderation. What do we have here? Alcohol is a sin. Drugs is a sin, I guess. Is money a sin? Black Gold Farm 24, 29. Okay. Music? Art? Portrait of Gideon Bell, painted in Jasmine Nightwing, 1794. No! Not the best painting! Come on, you gotta tell me they can't be a good party if this is banned. This is art. He pooping. He pooping in a chamber pot. He pooping. It says art! Art! That's it. I'm gonna bring down this order. Some books. Books titled Stories. Book title Autumn Tales. Okay. We got everything we need, so now we just have to figure out some things. Okay, so we gotta figure out how many demerits people are given. Okay. Excessive fashion, vulgar fashion, vulgar secrets. Second virtue is, well, we can actually see down here, right? We gotta figure out the virtues. Third virtue, something about beauty? Indulgence? I don't know what this donkey signifies though. Fourth virtue is truth, I think. Merit, lust. Could be lust. Lust for art could be a thing. The second virtue is the opposite of sloth. So, the opposite of sloth is diligence. At work, sloth. Untidiness. And what would be another thing that could work here? Secrets? No, that doesn't seem to be. Lies? Indulgence? I don't know if that's diligence though. The first one is love, right? Love thy neighbor or something like that. They were a part called, so something about truth? I think one of them is truth, but I don't know if it's the third or the fourth. Tidiness, one of the virtues. Music to my ears, Alistair, but do control your emotions. Arbiters must never violate the first virtue. Fourth virtue is truth. So that would mean secrets, mistakes, and lies. I don't know how mistakes counts as one of them, but the third one must mean moderation. Vulgar lust. Vulgar fashion, vulgar music. Let's take a look at the third. The stories and tales must be taken away because they're not truthful. They're stories. Oh, literature. Vulgar literature. This is about fashion. It's vulgar fashion, the reason why this one got taken. This is diligence. Well, the first one got... There's art and music, but not literature. Literature is not banned, I guess? Maybe all literature. Oh, mistakes. Mistakes would go here, literature would go here. So, in truth, you can't have literature, weirdly enough, which makes no sense. First virtue is beauty. Beauty? No. Art. So, what could be the first virtue? First virtue is alcohol. Second one is money? So maybe it's here because it's wrong? Yes, it's wrong because the math is wrong. So here you can see that it's 25 plus 6, which would be 31, which is wrong. So this is why this is taken here, because they made a mistake. Assuming that the first virtue is beauty, so we'll say indulgence, lust, and emotions? So 2 of those are correct. I know that lust probably makes sense. Idle, lust, merit. Okay, so lust, or sorry, that was correct. Apparently you can't have emotions in this order party. You gotta be soulless robots. Beauty is correct. Lust is correct. Merit. Virtue is merit. So diligence is correct. But merit is not. Oh wait, merit is correct. How do we tell if merit is correct? Because if we take diligence away... Okay, so diligence is correct as well. Merit is incorrect. Years is incorrect. This is how you can solve it by brute forcing it. You basically just try to find the specific word. Idle? Idle is not correct. Souls, not correct. Francs? I don't think money is correct. Beauty? Not correct. Diligence? Not correct. Emotions? Not correct. Idle, riches, indulgence, lies, literature, lust? Not correct. Merit? Not correct. Souls? Not correct. Ears? Not correct. So it must be one that I'm using right now. So moderation is the first one then. And beauty. Okay, so I was wrong about the position of things. But first virtue is moderation. Excessive indulgence, lust, and emotions will be punished. So you can't be too crazy. Second virtue is diligence. At work, sloth, untidiness, mistakes will be punished. Third virtue is beauty. Vulgar art, fashion, and music. The literature... Really not... All literature is banned. You're not allowed to have any of it. Okay. Now we gotta find out the punishment for each of these. There is 6 people that receive punishment. Claim he had no wife, so that's a lie. But we don't know if Fogger Quinn. Walter Keane, Lothar. Assuming that this is complete. Listening to music is music, I guess. Sleep with a sergeant, slap a sergeant, so that's... Okay, so we gotta look at thinking. That's excessive emotions and music. So that will make either this a 5 or a 3. It's weird that excessive moderation is 5, but... yeah, so apparently listen to music, too bad. You're at... Wait. You're at 11, so this is 4. These are some rough charges, buddy. We must never violate the first virtue. First virtue via moderation. You drank a full bottle of brandy. Brandy is moderation. That's 5. Kept the book Legacy of the Rose in his study. Kept the literature. He kept literature. Okay. My god, just having a book is 3 demerit points? How many demerit points do you need to die? Are they murdering people with just demerits? So we need to find somebody about sloth, I guess. Sloth or getting something wrong. So the doctor got something wrong. At a secret compartment. Office lock. Wait, what? Deny the existence of a secret compartment. These would be lies, but he started with 10. That makes this 1? That means that drinking a bottle is way more. This is 7 and this is 1. And that would mean that slapped is 7. Listen music is 2. Okay, let's take a look at the rest of the virtue that we have. You can only check you though. Label protocol terms, that's a mistake. 2. Took a double length lunch. That's 3. So that's 3 and 3, so that's 6. 2 or fewer are incorrect. Well, that's gotta be correct, because you've done 2 of this one. Okay, so this one maybe incorrect? Okay, so that makes 3 of them wrong. That's correct. Okay, so that's incorrect. Can I just... Could 0 be a demerit? Can you get a demerit of 0? You don't have any demerit points on you. weirdly enough, the cult has now decided to also wear masks again. So I guess this would be a breach of the emotions. That would just kill him outright, wouldn't it? So the 3 people that I can check for are these guys. He started with 20 and lost twice. Slap the Sergeant is... I mean, I would imagine it's 7. That would make this 2, which is not correct. Let's try to go through it. So let's assume that's correct. Let's keep going. So that's there. You drank a bottle, so that would be 7, and then you kept the book. This is 1, so that would be correct on that one. Gotta go down. You hid something and then denied it, so you lied and had a secret, which would be 2. You labeled a protocol as being on Thursday, even though it was Wednesday. Well, that's a lie. So that'll be 1. So this is 5. Took a double-length lunch in the office. But I don't know if mistakes count as double. Here, okay, so it was 3. Why did I think it was something else? Anyway, so apparently the virtue of... Do not break the virtue of moderation, or else you will be really punished. The diligence ones you can punish a little bit, but...
You look thirsty. Why don't you get hydrated?
What? Water?
It's lengthening time!
No! No! Fine, I'll drink some water for you. Thank you very much, DF. Thanks for taking a moment to give me some care.
Posture.
I do love when the water's crisp. Cold, crisp water, the best. You ever feel like you're really dehydrated and you drink some water, you're like, delicious. Thanks a lot. I also got a stretch. Stretching time! What is that gonna mean? Well, I can't move my arms in this model, so all you're gonna hear me is crack my bones. If you can even hear those. I doubt you can. Gotta do some back scratches, back stretches. Oh, yeah. And do some leg stretches. Those are a little harder. Oh, I just cracked my shins. I guess I didn't crack my shins. Crack my talons, my feet, some part of my body down below. Something cracked. Oh, this is what happens when you age. Do not age. Stay young. Never get old. But if you do, age gracefully. Be nice with it. Be nice to yourself. You had lived through so long. You cracked yourself. I did. I definitely did. Okay, and the next thing is posture. So that means I gotta put my chair up. Because I do sit on a chair. I don't stand all day. I don't have a standing desk. And now I can't lay back. Can't enjoy laying back a little bit. Alright. So now we gotta figure out how many demerits people lost, I guess. We also gotta put a number, it seems. Arger Quinn. Guess we don't need to know who they are. Arger Quinn claimed he had no wife. That's a lie, so that's 1 demerit point. Receive merits. Wouldn't it be subtracted merits? Oh, you can put a negative. Here, put all these get negatives because they're not actually receiving merits, they're losing merits. They're getting nothing but negatives. You claim you had no wife, so that is a lie. So that's 1. You had a painting, that's art, that's 3. Broke his wife's favorite teapot in anger. Ooh, that's 10. Was obsessed spending a night on a neighbor's wife. That would be negative 17. That's a lot of negatives. Walter Keane. Take a look at Walter. Flirted 3 times. Okay, that's gonna be negative 21. Wear ridiculous headgear. That is fashion. So that's negative 31. Oh my god, you're so dead, buddy. Claim he had not betrayed. So that's a negative 32 then. Correct. Lothar Richards. Oh, there is a possibility that they got positive merits. Okay. Held a dinner party years ago where he offered large amounts of wine. That would be indulgence. That would be negative 7. Got angry during the questioning and shouted at the arbiter. That is also negative 7. Negative 14. So that's a +1 to you, buddy. Congrats on surviving execution by basically having to give stuff away, I guess. Josh Bailey. What did Josh do? I don't know what the gin is for, though. Left his work at the tannery early. That is negative 3 points to you. Drank excessive. That's negative 10 or negative 7. Drank excessive. That is negative 17. Approach a married woman. That is okay. We're negative 24. Denied 4 times. That's negative 28. Buddy, you are dead. Horace Webb has not held a job. 60 instances of not work. That's so much. That is so much. That's 120. Yeah, that's 120. 120 claims he works. Claims he works in his castle, helping his servants clean it. That's a lie. Negative 121. This is 15 books. Kept in his private library. Okay, 15, 16. That's 16, 100 and 120, 136. That's a lot of merits, actually, you're gonna earn. Has not held the job. 60 of not instant. Okay, so 60 times 3, that is 180. 180 plus 1 plus 181. Just 210. So that's negative 11. You get a negative 11. Even if you donated a castle, that's apparently not good enough for the party to give you a positive, huh? Can you imagine? It's like, oh yes, I donate a castle. You can't see it because I'm behind it, but here's where I put it. Negative 100. God. Imagine having to donate a castle to someone, they still think that you're bad. Gideon Bell. Wears an outrageous hairstyle. That is going to be vulgar fashion. So that's negative 2. So 2. Broke 10 times. Oh. Yeah, that's 72. Has refused to start working. Job skipping. That's 102. Rejected the Arbiter's request that he share information. Secrets? Okay, so let's go ahead. So that's 30. Refusing to start work is 30. Because it's 5 times... No, wait. That's 15, sorry. 15. Broken down is 70. Because that's emotions. That's 85. Whereas an addition has still at 77. And then rejected can be 78, I think. So we'll try 78. No, it's not 78. So that would make it 77 plus 7, 84. Oh, that's also wrong. Okay, let's do the maths again. Who would have thought that this is a math game now, huh? Okay, let's do the math together, chat. So, where's an outrageous hairstyle? Hairstyles, they are under the third virtue. That's 2 merits. Oh, 2. Count for me, chat. 2. Broke down 10 times during questioning. That is 7 demerits per instance, so that's going to be 72 demerits. 72 demerits. Then 5 instances of job skipping. Job skipping is 3, so 72 plus 15 is 87. 87, yeah. And then 88 for rejecting. I still think this is negative 11. Okay. We'll put 88, but it could also be 6 more, so it could be 94? So before I move it, let's make it 94. Okay, so none of those are correct. This may be a plus. So that means that this number is correct. So it is this addition that is wrong. Let's go back to Horace Webb. Has not held a job. So that would be 180. 60 times 3 is 180, yes. 180. Claims that he worked at a castle. His verse completed. That would be 1, so 181. It possesses 15 books. I don't know how that's positive, though. So this is 15 books kept apart. Maybe it's just one count, not individual count. Maybe having 1 is the same as having... I don't know, maybe. Okay, so assuming that's 180, then 181, then 183, so that makes it 17. No. So that number is wrong. And it's definitely a positive, because then it's wrong. And if I move this one, it's wrong. So, amusingly, it is definitely this number. It's the number of Horace Webb. So did Horace Webb do something else to give a plus positive? Who are they talking about, though? So that's Gideon Bell, I guess. This guy's Gideon. Poor guy. He didn't even deserve it. Second virtue is about diligence. Or Maximus of Virtue. Tobacco is apparently not a weird thing. I guess because he probably smokes tobacco or something. Music. Oh, the guy's... Okay, I remember this guy. Wasn't there like a bard that was playing instruments or something? So where's the math coming from? This one's math that doesn't really add up. And I don't know... We could technically cheat it, because we definitely have all numbers correct except for this one, though. But I still don't know why the number is 17 and not 17. Be 0 too, maybe? Is it counting as 1? Alright, we'll cheat for one number. Because we basically know. So we know for a fact that one of the numbers is 0. Well, we know that one of these two numbers is a 0. We know for a fact that the first number is a 0. So he ends up with a total of plus demerits that are 0. Ow. So we know he starts with 200, so let's start with deducting, I guess. Deducting 200 to... Deducting 100... Again, that would be 60 times 3 would be 180. So that leaves 20 points, but that's not possible. We know that you're not Horus. We know that you're not Horus. Surely they decided not to push any fashion charges. They didn't charge passion. So that means you... No, that makes sense. Did they choose to... Did they accidentally ignore some of the punishment that they could have received? So what about... So this guy's the... This is the drunkard. So that's Josh Bailey. Okay, so we know that you're Josh Bailey. We know that this is Gideon Bell. We're missing 2. 2 people are gone already. Assuming by the time... we are in the second culprits? Third culprits? We'd be on the third culprits, I guess. Because there is 6 of them, and there's only 4 left. Pure love is lust. Not Walter Keane. Could be this one for him. Claim he had no wife. That could be Fanger Quinn, I guess. That is possible. Because we know we're Gideon. And we definitely know who Walter Keane is, and that's neither of you. You're not Walter Keane. Oh. I don't know. Start putting numbers. So he ended up with 4 positive, which makes no sense. There must be some detail that I'm missing. How did you end up with 4? It's not held a job, so that would be 180. 181. And 181 plus 30 would be 210. But then, so he would have to have earned 15 at some point, but I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure how Horace Webb has a merit of 4. Anyway, how many days have passed? Let's take a look at the... Somebody has a journal. This is the year when the game made popularity, so that's 3 years ago. 3 years. Could be 2 actually. March. No, 3 years. 3 years have passed as the Order Party seized power during a tribunal. Is judged to have the largest. That would be Gideon Bell, I'm afraid. The largest merit deduction in all tribunal history. Executed his punishment. Idol was used on him and lost 88 years? Feels like he aged 88 years. No hints accessed. There you go. The Order Party has seized power and now enforces the 4 maxims of virtue. The young Duke Gideon Bell was judged during the tribunal to have lost 88 merits. The higher arbiter of the party, Lazarus, used the idol to decrease Gideon's youth by 88 years, thus making him 108, which resulted in his death. Rough. Well, if that's what happens, you're dead. You are all so dead. Because if we look at this, you are gonna get aged by, how much did we say? You'd be aged by 28 years. Walter Keane by 32 years, and Farger Quinn by 17 years. So 88 is apparently the highest amount of loss that we've ever had. Right. Chapter 9, or Chapter 11. Slight delay in the peaceful march in the king's castle. Yeah, we got a bunch of things. We got the military. Yes, Comrade Lazarus has not returned for several hours. Comrades and Alistair and Alistair have gone to find him. If they do not return, we will organize more search parties to find the lost. That just takes me back. Blackfield Manor, Bellwood Crossroads, Cloudesley Cabin. Oh my god, we're back into the original setting. Little Mermaid Inn, Belchester Castle, Lazarus Hurst. You got some poison, some bags, the original uses of this. David Gorin, since his success of the Mermaid Inn to be resourceful and discreet professional. What if he never died? The original guy never died and he just de-aged himself. Because if we can see that age can be done, and this is a book that Lazarus has, which doesn't make any sense because the person who would have this would not be him. Nicholas Maker, cowardly but dutiful, useful to a limit. Alistair Courage, pompous and vain, but a military man is ready to obey and ready to kill. James Turner, greedy and hedonistic, requires a constant material motivation to cooperate. Walter Keane, ambitious and inventive, but as treacherous as many smart people are. So, Walter Keane somehow joined Lazarus, I guess? Oh, and Lazarus knew about everything. The reason why he would know is because he actually basically experienced the same things. Yeah, okay, I'm piecing it together here, the real secret. That the original, something Cloudsley isn't actually Cloudsley, it's actually Lazarus. What else am we missing? Lazarus, you took 32 things from me. I demand you return them. Oh, this is the Walter Keane. If you refuse, I will make the story of your true origins known to the other party leaders. At 11:30 on May 15, meet me at the place of the idol was stolen from our brotherhood, and poor Willard Wright met his death. Come alone and bring proof, something personal of yours, to give to the bailed woman. How you reply to the pigeon and release it from the cage. It will find me. So he's gone to Murderer and the islet. Okay, so I definitely see that Walter Keane has now decided to rebel, which makes sense. He was always sort of a ruffian to some degree. The regime has to fall. It has taken everything away from me. Watch shows ticking 12:15. Navaja Blade. Capital Route, morning report. At 8, newfangled insurrectionist carriage passes by. At 8:30, individual in the insurrectionist uniform passes by on the two-towel contraption. 10:15, two individuals in insurrectionist uniforms pass on horses. He's writing it down. Oh, it's you. Why are you not working, you worthless piece of garbage? I'm doing the same thing I saw Lazarus do during the merit executions. The idol is not working because the gem is not placed. Slightly dented saber. Oh, he dead. A man in a helmet with numerous cuts on his body, not breathing. Slightly dented saber with some blood on it. Melchester Castle, Blackfields, Crow Towers, and Woodshires. Port. Capital. Okay, so it is correct. Got a guy waiting there. Oh, the Sheffield place has gone to hell. Piled, mangled, burned corpses. Oh no, we want to go back in here. An empty cannon. Anything we're missing here? I'm doing so hot over here. Oh, it's Mary. Dear husband, you are so brave, and you have been drinking since early this morning. But what will you do now? What if evil government finds us? It's funny that this guy somehow is the good guy in this instance. He was not a very good character. A harp? Be the pure fleur that I know. You can only be for me, Edmund Chansley. Dear Mary, I know where you are. I know where your unworthy mate is hiding you. Soon I will free you from this dirty paws and ship him to the colonies. Well, I will put you on a pedestal of the sweetest praise, and you will become my ideal wife, Edmund. I haven't seen Edmund in... Wait. See? Another proof. Edmund is still alive. Because Edmund died. Edmund was corroborated to be dead, but he's not actually dead. We'll fight a tiger and win, Peter Baisley. Mary, my uncle Edmund Cusley died in some rubber, and now I am rich. And I am rich. Now your father will see me for the man I am. Let's marry. Worry not, and continue the feast, wife. Nothing will stand in my way. I will kill our enemies wherever we go. It's definitely not him. First, he's still betting. He's gonna lose everything. Stop betting, buddy. You lost the farm. Oh, he's the 7 Seas. I have some small but pressing business to attend to at a previous late brother Sebastian, a previous proud beast steward. We'll be back at the camp at 10 o'clock, start your meeting as planned. Lazarus. Okay, weird. Let's go to the port. Nothing there. These three are still here. Dandelion Room, Ada Baker, Walter Knott. Oh, these order rats sneaking around here. This is no good. I hope they will just blackmail me and bugger off. Ring of various keys. Do you think they will try to kidnap the king? Me and my employer are getting out of this blasted country. So here's Ada. I've instructed him to arrive at around 11:30. Most likely he will be in the order party uniform. If he comes alone without any backup outside, approach him. He gives you something that belonged to one of who escaped your tonic. You may proffer him the instruction slip I give you. Conceal your face. He may recognize you. So the Brotherhood is trying to defeat... So somehow Lazarus lost control of the Brotherhood, I guess? But I hear rumors that you lost a cannon while gambling. Wow, jeez. That they've moved to francs. That's something that has changed. Used to be shillings. Nonsense, I am not an idiot. A real man could beat those order party minis even without weapons. Okay. Nothing new there. Go here. Newly invented transportation device. A bicycle. Oh, I recognize that voice. It is you. Isn't it poetic that you have fallen for the same trap you did all those years ago, straw man? Ah, you're vain. Empty musket. He is a steward. This is Walter Keane. Damn you, cunning devil. Empty pistol, a loaded pistol. You'll find me in the place where we first two met. There, we can talk. He did, in fact, shoot into the straw man again. Scarecrow with a hole through its head. Bullet lodged in the wall. A white pigeon. I admit I may have treated you unjustly after our long cooperation. I will come alone and in peace, so we can discuss your compensation. What a liar you were, Lazarus. Or Edmund Chansley, if I believe you to be correct. Okay, this is a bunch of stuff. In the afternoon... Okay. Commander done return for several hours. Commander will be gone. Okay, so I feel like there's something else we're missing. You're during the day. You're dead. You're dead. This also happened. Some sort of weird car vehicle? So we have a cannon that's gone, and the cannon is here now. There's nothing we can see in the second one. You can see that there's Ada and Forget-Me-Not room. Walter Knott. You're not Walter. You're Ada. Ada Baker. That's what we remember from last time. Early in the morning. We have names, right? So he was given specific instructions when to meet. At 11 on midday. Maybe the idol, the place the idol was stolen from our Brotherhood, and poor Willard Wright met his death. Come alone and bring proofs, something personal of yours. Give to the veiled woman. Tie your reply to the pigeon and release it from the cage. It will find me. Okay, so the veiled woman was Ada. So this is before noon. The last one's gotta be this one. So, Walter Keane killed Lazarus. I don't actually remember his full name. Lazarus Hurst. At the Cloudsley Cabin. Before noon, so you died in the crossroads. Early in the morning, somebody else had died though. But where's the third death? Think about the cannon. Gotta be here. Because you did not murder him. And there's no death here. Murder images lost a cannon while gambling. Nonsense, I am not an idiot, but real men like us could beat those predators without even any weapons. You think they'll try to kidnap the king? Me and my employer are getting out of this blasted country. I've instructed to arrive at 11. Most likely he will be in order party uniform. If he comes alone without any backup outside, approach him. He gives you something that belonged to one who escaped. That belonged to the one who escaped your tonic. You may proffer him for instruction. Conceal your face. I feel like you got murdered. Newfangled instructions carriage passes by. Individual instructions. 2 new wheel contraption. Okay. 2 individuals insurrectionists uniforms pass on horses. I'm gonna presume it's gotta be one of the characters here. We know that Alistair Kosh is here, and so are you. Could be David Gorin. Gorin is nowhere to be seen. So we know it's either James Turner or David Gorin. So we need to find a way to tell who it is. Now, this horse has the have some small but pressing business to attend to. The previous party of late brother Sebastian, previous Proud Beast steward. We'll be back around 10 o'clock. Strategy meeting is planned. So does that mean he murdered him? So that means James Turner got murdered in the morning. Because he's the one being told to go into it. No, wait. James Turner killed. And it's gotta be Lazarus who murdered him. Lazarus Hurst. At the Castle Aylett Manor. That's the manor. I don't exactly know why he murdered him though. Doesn't make any sense, but sure. Then at noon, Ada. Probably Ada who murdered. Numerous cuts in his body. Yeah, that seems like Ada. Ada's the one with the knife. So it would have been Ada. Wait, we don't have Ada. Oh, we have Mary. So this would be David Gorin who's dead. Let's try to also construct a little bit of this, I guess. Before noon, was Alistair also who murdered him? That is incorrect. Now he has the idol. But we don't know why he has it. He just kept it, but we don't know why he keeps it. Not really said. We will find me the place where we first two met. Yeah. This is one Fango construction. I don't think... Do you think Peter murdered anybody? I mean, it's weird that they're here. But it feels like they should be related to this. Almost empty whiskey flask. Probably did. Your husband, you are so brave, and you have been drinking since early this morning. What will we do now? What if the evil government finds us? Okay. $1788. Been 12 years. So he murdered him. So you must have killed him at the crossroads. Maybe he got him wrong? What was the name of you? I forget. Peter Batley. Peter Batley. Yeah, so you did not kill him. Pretty sure Walter Keane did murder, or did kill Lazarus Hurst at the cabin. Crossroads is correct. I feel like this one is correct too. Alistair Hurst went to the cabin to kill Walter Keane. We know that for a fact. Because basically he had a gun on him. Because Walter Keane tried to blackmail him. Walter Keane had tried to blackmail Lazarus Hurst to get back his lost years. That's not correct. He did go to the cabin. He did try to blackmail? So, something wrong. It's Edward... It's something Cloudsley, right? But Cloudsley is not a name that I have. In the afternoon, Alistair... In the afternoon... David Goran? Oh. David Goran went to the cabin to kill Walter Keane because Walter Keane had tried to blackmail Lazarus West to get his lost years. So, okay, so it's not the assumption I'm taking here. You're David Goran, not Walter Keane. Now, David Goran was there when he got knocked out. He was the defense person, but not Elvin Chisley. Oh, but he's referring that he fell for the same trap because he's the one who opened the coffin and basically then got ambushed. Oh, okay, I'm getting it, I'm getting it slowly. So I'm getting it through correction. So that means that I need to fix this. It's not Walter Keane. Oh wait, sorry. Walter Keane did murder him, sorry. That is correct. Walter Keane murdered David Goran. David Goran. No wait. Is it possible? And it just. This is a possibility here. Did you murder him? Slightly dented. It is possible. So Walter Keane killed David Goran before noon. This was going to be Mary. Peter? No, what's her name? What is your name, miss? Would you care to provide us what name you've given to yourself? Mary. Maybe you married. So you would be... If you married, then you would be Batley. Mary Batley. And Peter Batley went out to try and the dead body at the crossroads. On the way, they started to fight. No, this is gonna be something else. They tried to find Alistair. No, not Alistair. They tried to find Walter Keane. Definitely started to fight over it. Was it Alistair Hurst? Where's Hurst? No, wait, it's Lazarus. Oh wait, no, actually. Oh. Okay, maybe I'm reading. Okay, maybe it is Alistair Coe and James Turner. Turner. James Turner. Okay, so they did not. They were not looking for him. They were looking for Alistair. Sorry, not Alistair. They were looking for Lazarus Hurst. Because they were sent out to find him. That's what he says. Cameron says, have not returned for several hours. Cameron says, Alistair and James have gone to find him. Alistair and James try to find Lazarus Hurst. Found the golden idol. started to... They did start to fight over it. Tried to kidnap? I think they were trying to find him. The wife idol? The dead idol? Not dead body. That means there's 3 wrong. Instead they found... I'm gonna assume Alistair Posh killed James Turner. That means that Peter Batley killed... Did he kill Alistair Hearst by accident? Alistair Hearst, because he wanted to go save her. Oh, and he brought an army, but they basically lost to a cannon. That is funny. Walter Keane killed... That's correct on that one. Early in the morning, Lazarus Hearst went to the manor to kidnap Mary, Mary Batley, because Peter Batley wanted to what does the islet have to do with anything though? Lover's Islet. Early in the manor, Lazarus Hearst went to the manor to kidnap Mary Batley because Peter Batley wanted to have I think it's Peter. Because Lazarus Hearst wanted to have the ideal wife. I was right about that. He was weirdly in love with her. But that means that... Oh, sorry, I got that wrong. That's supposed to be Lazarus. Okay. In the morning, Peter Batley killed Lazarus Hearst at the manor, which is correct. Before noon, Alistair Coach killed James Turner, so we knew that something had happened there. Try to find... we definitely know that you're trying to find Lazarus Hearst. Let's find the golden idol. I guess you maybe didn't find it. Maybe you found a dead body at the manor. Dead body. Golden idol. Aha! The drunken man strikes again. Before storming off to the king's castle with the Order party, Lazarus Hearst led his men to Sebastian Cloudsley's old manor in the order to kidnap his long-lost love, Mary Batley, née Richards, who was hiding there with her husband, Peter Batley. Upon entering the manor, Lazarus and his troops were confronted by a drunk Peter and a cannon he had won while gambling. So he stole the cannon. Peter blew up Lazarus, breaking the idol, and then fled the scene with Mary. Guess that idol ain't gonna help. Thank you for playing. Hey, weren't you with the Order party? Oh, no, I was never part of that ghastly organization. A coward. Wait, I can take this gilded brass trinket for scrap metal. Give 3 sous and call yourself lucky. And that's the game. So, okay, so what an interesting story. So in the end, Lazarus is actually Edmund Cloudsley. Edmund Cloudsley somehow after the explosion with Walter Keane figured out how to use the idol to remove age. However, the blast of the cannon must have broken the idol, I guess. I'm not too sure how, but I guess it broke it, and then it just basically meant it didn't work anymore. That was a very interesting game, though I will say that you can cheat, as I've done a few times during this stream, in which basically all I did is try to find the last word by just alternating some words. Some of the puzzles I was more confused than others, but overall it was a very enjoyable experience. I would recommend, I mean, it's hard to recommend to a game that I already solved for everybody, but I would recommend this game to anybody. Ooh, epilogue. The grand vision of a better world. Press to continue. Okay, so we see David Gorin, Walter Keane, and Edmund Cloudsley. So here we can see him aging backwards, which we already kind of guessed. Donate to a veteran who lost his leg to a noble defense of his homeland. Half-empty bottle of gin. Man is not breathing. Witness the power of the idol. In my hands I swear loyalty to Lazarus Hurst. We will build the ideal society. Brotherhood of Masks. Only thing worse than imbeciles is imbeciles with power. The rich noble have societal club with mystical rituals and other hogwash that are so stupid that they do not realize when they had some truly miraculous technology in their hands. However, they are influential and persistent and have already caused a great deal of harm to me and my goals. Walter Keane has told me more about their organization and practices. If he tells the truth, and they are truly devoted to the religious entity of the Griffin Reborn, I could gain some powerful allies for my next move. Order Party Manifesto. All citizens are equal. All citizens must serve society to the full extent of their abilities. Citizens must be evaluated according to how virtuous they are. A society with internal contradiction is unsustainable, therefore must be led by the most virtuous citizen. The king should step down, the aristocracy should be abolished. Good hope, I guess. Not that it would happen. There are more virtuous citizens that are better to serve society, therefore virtuous citizens deserve to gain more time on this earth. Bad citizens deserve to lose time, so that's how you did the aging. Kinda a little greedy that you chose yourself, though. This is unbelievable. My pure Mary is joined in matrimony with that clown Peter Batley. You must have done it out of grief for my death. Such a hasty decision goes against every principle of virtue. Therefore I consider the marriage null and void. No, she loved him. Though, actually, she did kind of get slipped a love potion at some point, so maybe, who's to say? Peter Batley is not necessarily a great character either. She will come to me once she learns I still live, but for now my duties in the service of humanity take precedence. Society must be built on the principles of virtue. Only thus can it become truly great. Look at the Lemurians. Thousands of years ago, they had an empire on the banks of the seven seas. Their ancient technology continues to baffle your modern science. But they became inert and decadent and forgot how to build and operate their machines. Their empire crumbled because it was built on pleasure-seeking, not virtue. It is by divine providence that I got my hands on a working ancient Lemurian artifact, the Golden Idol. I will use its powers to set humanity on the right path by building the ideal state. Oh, how twisted dreams one makes. Let's see. I swear it, yes, with the powers I will do whatever is necessary to build a better world. Here we see everybody. We knew about James Turner, and we knew about Alistair Coach, and we know that Angus McBain was against it. We know Walter Keane was one. We know Jeffrey Sinclair. Apparently these guys, with the exception of Nicholas Maker, These two guys were actually in correct opposition. Sebastian Cloudsley, deceased. He did. Willard Wright, deceased. He did. Not many of the Proud Bees left, huh? Chester Davy, Nicholas Maker. Yes, my lord. I swear my loyalty to you, and you will undertake whatever tasks required of me. David, I thank you for dealing with all these challenges relating to my death, and for keeping an eye on our new ally. I do feel I have impressed him not only with the Golden Idol, but also with my vision of ideal society. Come to the hideout November 14, 24. We are ready to take the next step. See, we got a bunch of... This is the entirety of the story. Okay, so... We now gotta fill the entirety of everything. Scroll's not filled. Left to the... But in his will, then... Suddenly stabbed. Punished. Cover the idol. That's the idol. The Brotherhood asked Walter Keane to punish Edmund Cloudsley and recover the idol, but the attempts were fruitless. Is this Willard Wright, right? Edmund Cloudsley left the idol. No, Sebastian Cloudsley left the idol to the Brotherhood in his will, but then Edmund Cloudsley, no wait, David Gorin, because we knew that he basically committed the murder. David Gorin, on Edmund Cloudsley's orders, stole the idol. Oh, I forgot to put Edmund. Oh, I put Edmund Gorin. It's David Gorin. David Gorin and Edmund. Okay, we got that. So the beginning of the story kind of goes that Sebastian Cloudsley wanted, because he was part of the Brotherhood, he wanted to give the idol to the Brotherhood. He basically was trying to figure out more about the magics, and he was a Proud Beast, so he wanted to give it to the Brotherhood, and that's why he gave it to an associate. So if we go to chapter 2, you can see that he basically gives it specifically to his associate, but Edmund Cloudsley notices the fire magic, and basically sends David Gorin to basically go murder this guy, which is Willard Wright. I don't know if considered stabbed, but basically he basically encountered him in the night and he just stabbed him. And then obviously because they stole it and the Brotherhood knew, they wanted to punish him, but that was hard to do. In one attempt, so that would be Walter Keane. Walter Keane. Walter Keane. Where's the Keane? Keane is captured, and it would be at this point still under the name of Edmund Cloudsley. Convince him to join on his side. Edmund Cloudsley then used the idol on himself. This is basically what the prologue is about. We basically get to see that he turns and use the idol to make himself young and infiltrated the Brotherhood under the new identity of Lazarus, which is a very on-the-nose thing, which is basically means rebirth. Lazarus Hurst, who then he claimed to be the Griffin Reborn, which we saw with the lighthouse in the previous stream, and transform the Brotherhood into the Order Party. See, we got figuring it out. The Brotherhood's masters, which at this point would have been James Turner and Alistair Kosh, helped. In this case, would be Lazarus Hurst. Seized power in the country and enforced the rule of virtues by taking youth away, as we saw in the previous, and give it to the members of the Order Party. Right before the final showdown with the uncooperative king, immediately the savior of this is apparently Peter Bailey, which is so rare. It's like the bad guy lost to another bad guy. Peter Bailey wanted. Taught by Peter Bailey. Yes, sorry, that is correct. Peter Bailey, and the idol was broken, which basically undid the magic, I guess, or maybe they didn't undo it, but it just stopped it working. So it's funny that a cannon is what ruined somebody's day. Mary Bailey, because there is no other name. Because I actually don't know what happened to the Lord. I guess the Lord just died. This would have been. I mean, it is Alistair, but it also works for Edmund. So, say Edmund Cloudsley here. We got it. We solved the entirety of the mystery. Continue. But we have the entire epilogue, and it just ends very unceremoniously when you fill it. But yeah, that is the entirety of... I guess that's the entirety of this game. I had a very good experience. I thought that the latter chapters would be a little harder, because I got really struggled with some of the earlier ones, but it was a sort of a touch and go from time to time. So we return back to the scenario, and we go... So, the weird thing is that the idol is just found in this island, and the reason the entire story starts is because the father, Albert Cloudsley, basically decides to keep the amulet, or keep the idol, but it's the doctor who basically wanted to do the expedition to begin with. I did not click all of these. Yeah, so it all starts with a murder. And weirdly enough, it only gets worse as the murders happen. We go down the line as we go to the scenario. You basically see Sebastian, who basically apparently just died. I thought he died by murder, but no, he just basically died by falling. And this actually starts the entirety of the chain. If he had not died, and he actually started, if he published his manuscript, it would have been interesting, because he would have provided the Order with magic. Now, the question is if he would have had the same ambition that Edmund Cloudsley would have had, but who is to say? He seemed like a scientific sort, so I don't know. Hard to tell. But, as we go down the line, then we see Peter Bailey and the twins. So, this is Willard Wright. Peter Bailey wanted the idol, or wanted something. He wanted to take the idol. He was not necessarily knowing what the idol did, he just wanted something of value, because he was super in debt at the time. This is David Gorin, who is a coach, but also acts as a sort of agent of Edmund Cloudsley. Edmund Cloudsley sees this event unfold and then becomes very interested on being able to figure out what this idol is, because obviously he sees Willard Wright, which is this guy, see the idol and basically figures out, oh, maybe I should get that item and then do something. We see here Rose, which we will see later down the line, but she's an unfortunate casualty of her brother's Machiavellic decisions. And additionally, we see the lawyer, who overall takes a very small part in the entirety of the story and actually ends up being unharmed by the entirety of this. I don't think this becomes relevant at any point, but this is very reminiscent to the Order. And then we have the twins, who unfortunately one of the twins just passes away. We actually never see this twin again, so they just kind of disappear from the story. As far as I'm aware, I think. His name was Adam Pear. Yeah, we don't ever see the Pear twins again. Well, I mean, one of them just burns alive, so I doubt we see them. But I'm using it because he had read the paper on expectation of combustion, which he carries. He basically figured he could use this to defend himself. Obviously, Peter Bailey was not too happy with this, but what can he do? Let's go back. We go to the next part. Here is where Willard Wright is murdered in the night. You can see here that somebody figures out something went wrong, and the reason how this happened is that they kind of broke the window as a sort of distraction plan, which is actually very clever. And I will say this, I did not quite catch. They actually used the trapdoor to climb, and the way that you figure it out is that you notice that there is no footprints here. Because there's no footprints here, that means that there's no way somebody would have climbed up this window. So they broke it from the inside because the glass is also on the outside rather than the inside. Again, stuff that I did not quite figure out until much later on. This is the hardest case in my opinion to solve. A lot of deduction based on what you see. But Willard Wright died here. He wrote Revenge RR. He wrote RR to basically paint it on Robert Redruth. Robert Redruth was given something to David Gorin, but David Gorin obviously can't read. So I don't know, this guy never got seen again because basically he never got caught maybe, or maybe he just disappeared. We also don't think we see... there's David Gorin, who is the murderer. We murder him with a dagger. Here's Adam Baker, and here's John. John apparently is the guy who keeps gambling and losing all of his possessions over time. Additionally, Maurice, I believe you're Maurice. Maurice Evans will lose this in a later date, as well as the blade, I think. Oh no, Maurice... Okay, funny thing. Maurice actually gets shown one more time, and it is during the murder scenes, in which he starts writing down the events that take place, because he's actually the washerwoman. Because his face is basically the same. Unless it's his mother, which could also be. Hard to tell. We never really figure out much about Boyton. He just kind of is the innkeeper here. And we also never figure out who this boy is. This never appears again. Then happens the dinner scene, which... Here is the Brotherhood's first act against Edmund Cloudsley. Edmund basically sees that his sister has been murdered through poison, starts blaming it on people. However, the real murderer for this poisoning was Ada, trying to murder Edmund Cloudsley to basically stop the idol from going into wrong hands. Obviously after this, Ada disappears. Lucia still sticks around, as far as I understand, after the years pass. Little Pip also sticks around. So Little Pip seems to always be under the care of Cloudsley, but we don't really know what the association of Cloudsley is with Little Pip. This pocket watch is seen multiple times. Or a pocket watch of this sort is always seen multiple times, but we're not sure. This murder was also... This is where we see Peter Bailey one more time. He looks a lot different in this animation versus here. But Peter Bailey here is trying to court Mary, which never changes his expression, funnily enough. And through the papers that we see here, we can basically tell that Maurice... Sorry, not Maurice. That Peter Bailey is not very liked by both his aunt nor his uncle. So his father was to have been Sebastian, I guess. We actually could go back to chapter 3 to figure it out, but we also have Lord Koch, who Edmund wants to marry his daughter, but he's too old. And this guy apparently wants to start a proletariat riot, but he just basically doesn't. He's too old to care. He doesn't care. And she died because she drank the Pepto, the doctor recommended Pepto here, the Peptonic, before Edmund did. If Edmund had drank it first, the story would have ended also here. So there's another lucky break by Edmund. That's 2 lucky breaks for him. Then there is the explosion where basically two of the Brotherhood, I don't actually know if they're Brotherhood. They could just be gangs that are sent by Walter Keane. The weird thing is that he's part of the Brotherhood, but he's basically a criminal as well. Here's little Pip and Lucia. We don't see Ada anywhere to see. We don't see Sebastian anywhere to see, so they're probably either gone or fired by this point. Here we see David Gora, who has been received a substantial struck, again, amusingly, by looking at this scarecrow, who will come relevant in the later lines. Here you can see that Edmund Closely, hiding in here, has started to use the idol to learn new properties, as he's been recording it in his book. He activates a sort of trap, where the idol activates a trap. However, he sees the idol, and here we see Edmund also seeing the idol and seeing its effects. He's not knocked out, but instead he just, later after, the gold doubloon basically bites into him, and then he basically just surrenders. So he's not killed by the blast, nor he's murdered by any of the group. Obviously we know that he's not murdered because he appears in a later part. This is where we skip to the epilogue, where after chapter 7 actually comes the epilogue, where a younger version, or where basically Edmund Closely changes into Lazarus Hearst and makes an alliance with Walter Keane and David Gorin to basically follow this plan to change the Brotherhood into an order. Nothing more relevant here, but the main relevance is that he changes age, which you actually can figure out as early as you can start kind of figuring out as chapter 12 or chapter 10, I think. You start figuring out, it's like, that doesn't make any sense. Why is David Gorin part of this thing? It doesn't make any sense until you start thinking that, hey, wait a second, what if he changed his shape? Because once you see that something can be aged, well, something could be de-aged as well. Okay, so going back, as we go to the final explanation of the final piece of the puzzles, let's go back to return scenario. We can't go back from the epilogue, weirdly enough. So here comes the Brotherhood. So, first thing that he tries to do is join the Brotherhood. So, here we can see there is, I don't think we actually get ever a name for him. He's just a Dark Hand Initiate. But he is not Walter Keane, and he's not David Gorin. We just know that David Gorin takes the place of one of the Initiates here, because this guy's David Gorin. And basically the water snakes, I think they're called. Yeah, the water snakes challenge, or the leader, or this guy of the water snakes basically challenges Walter Keane, who this is Walter Keane, in regard to this duel. However, they both don't know where the poison is. However, by having David Gorin here, David Gorin can assist to where the poison is, and this means that the duel succeeds by purposes of Walter Keane, and the rest of them are none the wiser, because they never suspected that a member would be cheating in this ritual, which is kind of weird, because you could easily cheat. During this time, because of the ritual concludes and succeeds, we can see that Lazarus Hearst succeeds on his ritual to become an ascended Proud Beast, I think. Because he needs to be able to join the cult to be able, or the Brotherhood, just to be able to actually continue. I don't exactly know what ritual he performs, but the tests are somewhat relevant here. Something about, we know that the test that he takes is one of admission, and the tests are as follows here. Returning to the next one. So a little bit after a little while after, he starts presenting the idol. Obviously, Walter Keane was part of the deal, part of the agreement. David Gorin is nowhere to be seen here because David Gorin is not part of the Brotherhood. But with the assistance of Walter Keane, once again, he performs the medical levitation by jumping at the top of the balcony and surviving by basically using some of the weird golden idol artifact magic to be able to do it. However, because it's a common occurrence that Angus McBain, who's always challenged the right, goes in and basically says, I can do it, and having actually blackmailed Walter Keaton, which is funny, he got blackmailed a second time, he tells him how to do it, but he doesn't know how to do it. So even though he saw how Lazarus has done it, or Edmund, how Edmund had done it. He doesn't really understand the magic of it. He never actually tries for the entirety of the game to try, even though he writes it in his letters and the like. So he was never, weirdly enough, Walter Keane is actually the most pure of the group of the Pure Order, because he never tries orders. He always believed them, and only when he was betrayed, then he took his final. He basically took his punishment. In some weird way, he receives the biggest punishment of all, because he gets aged 32 years, and then the idol breaks, so that means he can't return those years. Which I guess we never find out what happens to him, but I imagine age would take him. Maybe he starts the Brotherhood again. That could be also possible. Also, this music is beautiful. It starts so normal, and then it really starts turning into a cursed melody. Anyway, here we have basically Walter Koch and James Turner. These two will eventually turn on each other. Amusingly, in this case, it's Walter Koch who wins this battle in the long term, but here they see everybody, and then we also see the good old cowardly Loyo, who basically is actually still an initiate and never actually rises through the ranks, but it is often very related with Walter. Sorry, not Walter. With Lazarus, because Lazarus seems to just always give him whatever clues or give him whatever jobs possible, I guess. Angus, it's a shame that you were also killed, because had you survived, or had you been able to prove it right, that would have stopped the entirety of the following thing, which is the New Order Party, which would have been a different game altogether, but it would have solved and stopped the murders of Edmund Clownsley. Finally, we have the Lemurian Prince, and basically the murder of the Reform Party. Don't remember what kind of party you were. We can actually check here in the papers. The moderate leader. Okay, so he was the moderate leader for the party. He would have actually won the elections. However, because the murder was pinned on I imagine Leopold, that means that both of the leader candidates were run out, and that means that the New Order were the only party who basically had candidates. Now, he was the one who murdered him. He's the one who murdered. He's the actual one who murdered. Alistair Koch is the one who actually murdered him. But James Turner is actually the conspirator to this as well. So they're both basically conspiring to remove the party, because basically that's what Lazarus wanted to do, was to be able to get control of the world, or get control of, I guess, United Kingdom. I think this takes place in the United Kingdom. I don't know. The Lemurian Prince doesn't really play much of the part. However, he doesn't know of the idol's presence at any point, but he does take one of these objects, I guess, one of these seals at some point. Constable, I guess, arrests Leopold because of the circumstantial evidence he finds, and I guess that's how it goes. Here we also see Gideon Bell, who unfortunately will take a very bad demise in the very coming term, as apparently he was too nice and too emotional. Nothing more about this story. As we go into the final chapter, here goes the New World Order, as both Alistair and James, as well as Lazarus, basically have taken control the entirety of the party, at least of the surrounding area. David Gorin here shows again. Here we see a bunch of other people who are about to be judged, and here we see poor old Gideon Bell, who has been aged to a crisp, almost to a raisin, because of the idol's effects, which apparently are here. Now, he holds the idol almost in a way to, like, show curses. Like, I'm not exactly sure what he's doing in this room. He's just gonna tell them work, I guess, but I feel like that's not really something you would do. But he holds the idol very feverishly because he doesn't want to give it up. Obviously, these two would easily steal it if ever possible, and we definitely know that in the future, they certainly do. They certainly do. These people are... we don't know their fates, but I imagine this guy probably gets aged to oblivion, because he also committed a bunch of heinous crimes. and the rest of you suffer a little bit because there's only 4 of them. 2 of them have already been aged, and we can see their fates based on what their sentences were. Now the weird thing is that the father of Mary, actually tries to reveal the whereabouts of where they are, which I guess in this case would have been the mansion of Sebastian's mansion, and that's probably what leads the case to the next area. Now, we don't actually know what date this takes place in, I think, or maybe we do. I think we're down here. We didn't figure out a date. It takes place in March 14th, 1795, and I believe a paper here reveals that in 2 months from here, so about in May, they would go try to make a run for it. Now the weird thing is in the last level, or the last map, a bunch of things conclude altogether. First, the world order, I guess, ends because with the death of Lazarus by, amusingly of all, Peter Bailey through a cannon. One of you is Lazarus, and the breaking of the idol. It basically stops the entirety of the movement, because without a leader or a golden idol, why would the rest of them believe it? Also, with the death of assumingly the main head honcho of the party, then I suppose there is no political party or ideology. You would think that Alistair Coate would basically continue, but he's not a very smart man. He mostly follows orders. He is a military man, so he overpowered James Turner, who dies here, the doctor, in a fight. They died in a fight here. As you can see, they're both dented. However, I believe he dropped his original sword, and he has a slight injury on his foot. That means he basically had an altercation with this man. Originally, you are thought to believe that perhaps he had an altercation with the hired lady that, not her, with Ada, from part of the Brotherhood, not really part of the Brotherhood, but basically a hired assassin, or a hired poisoner. He was hired originally by the Brotherhood, but here in this case he's hired by Walter Keane once again. Walter Keane does have an association with the Brotherhood, so maybe they are a Brotherhood assassin? We're not too sure. That's never a detail that fully gets explored, I guess. But obviously they do speak in code and the like. After basically after Alistair Coate or Edmund Cloudsley dies by cannon fire due to Peter Bailey disappears or runs away with Mary, which basically they'll figure out that they're going to be recluses now, because they probably have the law after them. The thing is, he is rich. After his uncle died, so presumably he inherited the entirety of the uncle's fortune, because his uncle never had children. So he's supposedly quite well off. So weirdly enough, in the entirety of the plot of the story, he ends up well. Going back to James Turner died to Alistair Coate. Alistair Coate stole the idol because both of them encountered the idol at the mansion when they went to look out for Lazarus. Lazarus was found as a corpse because of cannon. They did not know who did it, because I feel like if they did, we probably would have done something about it. But as they try to figure out, as basically they fight over the idol, and after the fact, Alistair tries to figure out how the idol works, but never gets to work it because, in fact, if you look at the idol is broken. The idol no longer has its signature coloration from all the beginning, which is the red jewel or blue jewel. And that means the magic is gone. It's faded. And as such, that is the end of that. Obviously, we also can see one of the horses here. We can see the second of the horses here, which basically reveals who the other person would have been. And yeah, the story kind of ends in the epilogue. Oh yeah, here is Maurice. This is Maurice, I would imagine, based on the face shape. Also carries the same Navaja blade and carries the ticking and shows the time. Now, the weird thing is that Willard Wright had actually obtained the clock, but died. So I imagine perhaps Maurice took it back, but we can't tell if it's the same. Not exactly sure who Maurice is and who is reporting to specifically, but this could be reporting to somebody. Could have been reporting back to Ada, could be reporting back to David Gorin. Not David Gorin, sorry, Walter Keane. Finally, in the final confrontation that we have here, we see an aged Walter Keane who has aged terribly due to the effects of the idol, takes one final shot, and we can tell that this is Walter Keane because he actually was a Proud Hand steward, as we always knew. Takes a final shot on David Gorin, who had the 2 pistols. I do believe he was a pistol man for the entirety of the game. And weirdly enough, I don't understand why it is David Gorin who comes here, but maybe he sent his best man to try to figure out what's going on. And obviously because they had a pact, he had a pact with David Gorin and Alistair. I'm not exactly sure if at this point Walter Keane knows that the idol doesn't work or that Alistair is dead. Because Peter Bailey is the wild card, weirdly enough. Peter Bailey killed Alistair, killed Edmund Cloudsley, or also known as Lazarus Hurst, without really much involvement. He just kind of did it because basically they were coming to take his wife away. And that's something he did not want to, because he loves his wife very much. So, do not tell me this is not a love story. Yeah, and that's it. The only characters that survived the entirety of the ordeal were relatively unharmed is actually the lawyer, who appears in the Chapter 3 and stays for the entirety, even while including and being part of the Order. Though he kind of retreats from that order, as we see in the epilogue. They've also created sort of prototype cars, I think. I'm not exactly sure if that's something futuristic of the time, or if that is something that the idol allowed as well. Additional characters that kind of remain unharmed are the entirety of these 2, as well as Ada. Ada doesn't seem to be affected by the events taking place. And the best winners here are both Peter and Mary, who basically get to elope. Apart from that, we don't know. We don't know anything else. We don't know. I know that this mansion got basically taken over by somebody, but by the Order, but we're not too sure if that ever concluded. Right. And with that, let's see the canon ending. We know that after a few years, basically the Order party basically ended. As basically excluded here, and Maurice basically just returns to being just a lawyer. And weirdly enough, because he probably gave all his wealth away, or maybe he didn't have much wealth because he wasn't a doctor, but he didn't own a company or anything. He was a lord, I guess, but maybe he gave the lord all the stuff to Lazarus, so it's not in his name anymore. He tries to sell the idol, but the idol is worthless. And that's the entirety of the case of the Golden Idol. All starting with a pushing down in the Lemurian Isles. I hope you liked today's game. That has been the case of the Golden Idol. There are 2 other DLCs. I don't have them, I don't think. No, I do not have them. If I ever do get them, then I would consider maybe playing them, and then we would continue more of this. But for now, that's going to be the entirety of this game. I hope you've all had fun. I certainly did enjoy trying to crack these cases. They can be a little bit big brainy, but I enjoy trying to push my muscles to the limit. Sometimes it breaks my brain. But sometimes, very enjoyable. I do feel that maybe gameway-wise, it would be better if you weren't allowed to cheat. But I understand why it's there, because it kind of, sometimes you just would basically go crazy trying to figure out each specific element. And some of the times you don't really know the whole story, so it is useful to you, but it also doesn't immediately give you the solution. However, you can kind of, as I've done very well, jury-rig the solution by just switching words over and over. But anyway, that is the case of the Golden Idol, and that is all for today. There will be probably nothing tomorrow, so that's going to be all for this week. Yeah, we'll switch to another game starting tomorrow, starting Actually, well, maybe I can come back to a game later today. Maybe if I really feel like it, I'll play some casual game of something. Maybe Peak, maybe Team Fortress 2, maybe something. Because I've been getting into Team Fortress 2. It's a good game. If you get into it, you can't get out of it. But for now, I'm gonna head out and see you all next time. I don't know why I went into depressed mode, but hey, I guess I'm just sad to see you all go. It's so sad. So sad. But hey, I hope to see you all next time, and if I don't, then I guess that's fine. I will still think you're cool. A little less cool, but still pretty cool. Till next time, and don't forget to stay wild. Bye bye. And also, if you find some weird Lemurian idol,